What's up, guys? Bernie here, back for round two. I just wanted to start this video a little early just to talk about the last round in our match we had. So our opponent had an interesting deck decision. He had a copy of End Hostilities in his Mardu deck, and it's kind of an interesting debate, which I've heard different opinions on whether you play a Wrath effect in your aggressive deck in Limited. Obviously, Wrath effects are objectively very powerful. However, when you're playing stuff like a 2/2 with haste that has to attack every turn, it feels to me like you need a very... You don't have a lot of room in your deck for stuff that you don't want to play when you're behind. It's kind of interesting. Like, when I sideboarded there, I thought to myself, who's the beatdown? Came to the conclusion that it was him, and I morphed to be slightly more controlling, slightly more defensive. So I can definitely see it as a sideboard card if you're not the fastest, but I don't think I like it in the main deck. So here we are for our next match. We won the die roll, which is good. Let's see if we actually get a keeper. We do. This is actually fine for a change. I almost pressed mulligan because I'm so used to mulliganing. I think our land base is okay for a 3-color deck. We have 3 fixing lands, which isn't... not a huge amount, but then I'm used to playing 10. Used to playing 5-color. Pretty good. And he's having a pretty long thing about whether he wants to mulligan. So he must have a tricky one. Okay, so at the moment we're playing Herald on turn 1, Swiftwater Cliffs on turn 2, and then we're outlasting Herald on turn 3. I don't think there's any reason not to play it on turn 1 and hit for 1. Just trying to think about this. I think my opponent's actually AFK, because sometimes between rounds this does happen. Has he responded? That doesn't really mean anything, but I think he's probably away from keyboard, so we're just going to wait. I'm just going to, well, actually, I'm afraid to say I can't pause the video. When I stop it, it actually just creates a new file, which is kind of irritating. I could have just talked about the last round now. Yeah, so I think it's a very important question to ask yourself in Limited, even when you're drafting, is what the aggressive decks are and how you respond to that. Obviously, the main objective when you draft is just to have the strongest 40 cards that you can draft, so the strongest 23 that you can draft, to give yourself the strongest 40 card deck possible. But if you can pick up cards for your sideboard that shore up matchups, it's a very good thing to do. So he's kept. I don't think that was a very long mulligan decision. I think that was just him being away from keyboard. Yeah, it's just important to make sure you understand the matchup. Like, Mardu is generally more aggressive than Jeskai, and it's nice that I have a 2/5 for 4 mana to bring in. It's nice that I can bring in a 0/5. It's a good option because my 3/1s, for example, in that situation, they trade for all his 1/1s. You know, they trade for his token, and they trade for his Mardu Hate Blade, so then they're not particularly good. And my opponent is being slow. You got a force of will, buddy? I don't think you do. So I may invest in some better recording software. To see how popular these videos are first. Yeah, it's kind of unexciting. So something I look to do a little bit more as I'm drafting as well is make a note of the person who's on my right and the person who's on my left, of their names, and then I can have an idea about what they might be playing if I meet them in round 2 or even 3. All right. We got there. Okay. Sure. So, probably not another Jeskai player. It could be. Not impossible, but probably not. Likely that we're up against an Abzan player. Did it too quickly for me. An Abzan player. Highland game. Yeah. That matches up very nicely against our Herald of Arophenza. Yeah, we're just doing this. So we do have an option there. You know, we can play the Efreet Weapon Master, and that's certainly not a bad move. But we might just be able to win off the back of this. I'll have to see what he does here. I'm guessing he won't attack, but it's kind of interesting he does. Tuskar Captain, that's a great card. Yeah. Sure. So we have some options here. We can play a Jeskai student and leave up Force away. We can just outlast the Herald again. Or we can play the Kirin. I kind of like just outlasting the Herald. Just trying to think. Long game, he's likely to win on the ground, and getting the Kirin in. Well, actually, long game, he's not if we have Flying Crane technique. So it's still just better to get the Kirin into play. No, I think because we have Flying Crane technique, we just want to make tokens. Like, this doesn't have to win us the game straight away. This can just act as a one-sided wrath effect as well. Yeah, sure. That's fine. Got something else. Cool. Another Kirin. Okay, sure. So, we can do two things this turn. And I think we just want to outlast and perhaps force away the Kirin in the end step, and then we get to loot as well, which is kind of cool. Yeah, we don't want to attack. So we'll let him attack. Okay, that's fine. Sure, Hateblade, you got it. Sure. Okay, so we're just going to do this now. We could get blown out by Feed of Resistance, which would be pretty bad. Okay, yes, we do want to use its ability. Okay, that's really good. Cool. Kind of interesting about what we discard here. So Jeskai student does allow us to do something next turn. I think. No. Let's hope we draw a land. Let's be greedy. Okay, we did, but it wasn't the kind of land we want. I think we're just going to get the Kirin into play. Or do we want to level up? Should we attack first? Attacking doesn't seem bad. Do you think he might have a kill shot? I think that might be what he's leaving up. Yeah, I think he's probably leaving up a kill shot. Want to block? No, didn't think so. So our options are we can either just go for it next turn. If he taps out, for example, for the Alabaster Kirin. Yeah. What's this? Rakasha Death Dealer, sure. Do we just have him? Um, 2, 4, 6. 2, 4, 6 plus 8, 14. No, not quite. Not quite. So I think in that case we just want to play the so we'll probably play the Jeskai Charm. It would put him to 14. Okay, we're going to cast this face down. I'm going to attack. There's no harm in attacking here. Huh, he called it. Sure. We could have just attacked with everything there, actually. I wouldn't have hated that. But I like this line. We're just going to Jeskai Charm something next turn. Probably the Kirin. Let's see. Sure. If he wants to deal me 6, that's okay. I think I'm fine with that. Yeah, it doesn't suggest he has much else to do if that's the case. He could still have a kill shot, which would be pretty bad. Okay, yeah. He is definitely suggesting that he has kill shot. Okay, so if he does, then he kill shots the Herald, and he takes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So, oh no, hang on, but he can block the Kirin. So I'm fairly sure he does have that. But we definitely, we're kind of put target creature on top of its owner's library. We're kind of forced into doing this now. And the nice thing is that we still, oops. Yeah, so I'm fairly sure that he has kill shot. Nevertheless, and I think we attack. Okay, do we attack and see how he blocks? We certainly could do. Yeah. Sure. So imagine when we flip this, he's going to kill shot either the Kirin. Okay, let's just do that. That seems fine to us. And we'll pump one of the warriors since blocks have already been done. Okay. Because we'd rather he didn't, if he does have a kill shot, we don't want him to blow us out. I think he's going to kill shot something here. Okay. Sure. Okay, so I'm fairly sure that we've just got him. Yeah. Okay, so I'm sorry I didn't talk more about this play. It was a little bit more conservative, but I think it was decent. So he's going to attack us for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You can potentially punt 2 times, so that's 12. Let me just make sure I've got that right. Yes. No, he can attack for 13. And he has in his hand the 2/3 flyer, so he can't attack for the 13 if you want to replay that. I don't quite have him at dead though with the flying crane technique, which is kind of irritating. Sure. Make him double pump. No, it's not good. Sure. So he'll do 4 here. Okay. So this isn't quite lethal, I don't think. Okay. But I don't think we're dead on the crackback. We could wait a turn. If we wait a turn, we can play. We could just do the Herald of Arethenza thing again, and play an Abzan Falconer. It's kind of getting a little dodgy now, though. Do we just attack and make him eat the Alabaster Kirin? So we go begin combat, attack, and then before blocks we flying crane technique. I think that's going to be the best thing to do. I'm sure there was a better line here. So we eat his Kirin, and we have a good number of things back to block with. That's all I got. Should have represented Defiant Strike, I guess. Yeah. But you got some. Sure. That won't do it. So he'll just attack with everything, I imagine. No? Okay. Nothing he has reach. Yeah, begin sideboarding. Okay, great. Game 1 went to us. I think we were a little conservative there. There was probably a better line that we missed. So I'll be back for sideboarding and game 2.